Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Frost and Fire. So last episode, we managed to take out the Psychic Droner and purposely left most of the other mech clusters in place. It would be fairly easy for me to destroy the remaining mech clusters as you can see here, they kind of share a dead zone here. And with my shield belts and all that, it wouldn't be that hard to bust up the remainder. But I'm hoping that they offer some sort of protection for Reaper attacks. Speaking of Reaper attacks, rebuilding this wall would force Reapers that spawn up north to go right past the mech cluster, which is exactly what I would want. So, additionally, last episode, we were working on trying to get royal clothing for Raptor and to move our storage area all the way down here, which is in progress. We've moved most of it, as you can see. We're also going to be storing our mortar shells up here and putting our mortars inside this building for security or whatever. I'm realizing that I probably need to crank out some more kibble as we're down to the last 150, which means butchering up some insects at some point. And we are just... Oh, hypothermia. Hippie is down. So Hippie, I believe, keeps getting knocked out, if you're wondering, because this is the second time. It's largely due to the fact that she has... very low movement speed. She has one lung missing. That's my fault. She has a right leg scar, which is not my fault, and a wooden foot, which is not my fault. I didn't give her these things. So as a result, when she becomes hypothermic, she does not have a lot of time to seek cover because she's slow. It takes her a while to get somewhere safe, and as a net result, what ends up happening is she just collapses instead, which is rather hilarious. But also rather unproductive, if I'm going to state the obvious. So it's going to be important to tend to her health so that it's not a continual issue. But it's about not to be an issue soon because we are going to be able to, stop hauling and then it won't be a problem anymore. I'm just going to continue what I would call super hauling. Oh, and all the baby crabs just hatched. Now, as you are probably well aware, I don't actually keep these baby crabs. I just sell them because they eat so much. So if you're ever wondering how much they eat, you could take a look at hunger rate. So the hunger rate for a normal human here and a crab are about the same. You know, it's like feeding, but they also have a larger body size so that they, if you take a look at their food, they store a lot more food than we do. So a normal human, can store like one food in their stomach. These crabs can store up to 5. They have massive stomachs that seemingly never stop consuming our resources. Oh, wow. That's cargo pod straight into my base. And a quest just offered. A friend in the crosshairs. So Prince Finch. Whoa, that is hard to say. Prime Counselor of Machinists requesting a favor. His 16-year-old sickly child named Redfoot pissed off a... Okay. Guard him for 20 days. Keep his mood above 30. And I'll gain goodwill if I do a good job of it. Well, 2 more mech clusters, you say. I think I am going to accept this quest, but I'm going to accept it right near the expiry because I don't want it to be... I don't want to be approaching the coldest parts of winter going into this. Let's take everybody off of high priority hauling. so that they can get back to whatever other tasks they're doing. So Hippie is going to be making us some jade sculptures. And then Raptor is going to finish up the advanced fabrication research so that we can start making recon armor and bionics to replace missing toes and the like. Oh, here we go, finally. Moving the mortars to indoors. Not heated, but protected from would-be raiders. I haven't really fully committed to an updated defense system. I probably shouldn't be building this in the middle of the winter because it's just too cold to do it in the middle of the winter. But that would be something good to do sometime soonish. I know that's sort of up in the air, but at some point, you know, get that done. A fire foam popper. Let's install a fire foam popper at our stockpile, just in case of fire. And we're still working on capes and top hats. But the base is in pretty good form. It's negative 100 Celsius, so absolutely terribly cold, but pretty good position, I suppose. Repairing up what needs to be repaired. Surprisingly enough, I've been able to defend myself pretty effectively with just mini turrets. Of course, they are made of uranium, which is a lot tougher than steel, and they're not flammable either, which is why it's been working out so well. But mini turrets nonetheless. Okay, so Gabe, you are getting cold. I might want to heat my tunnels just a little bit. Bash and Phoenix are becoming idle because there's just not tasks for them. It's sort of fine. I don't actually need everybody to be working all the time. Truth be told, I think that's a little unnecessary. Having a little bit of downtime will help with moods, which could help with inspirations, which will, you know, maybe offer... Oh, hello. A Manhunter pack of beak things. So we have 5 beak things. Oh, they're going to absolutely crush this cluster. There's no doubt about that. These beak things won't have any problem. Oh, they are ignoring it. Dang. Didn't see that coming. Where are they going? Are they attacking this cluster? I'm not sure. It's possible that these beak things will end up clearing all the current clusters and allowing me to take a royal title. It depends on how... If they get through these scythers quickly and get to the dead zones of these charge turrets, my money's on the beak things. Oh, yep. That seems to be the case. Because once they're in the dead zone, there's not much to stop them from wiping out the rest of the cluster. And there it goes. Cluster down. Well, thanks, Beaks. I believe last episode I literally called that it would be cool if a mech cluster came and... or a Manhunter pack came and sort of did my work for me. And that's what happened. And now there's only one left, and it's gonna pass out any second now. So I don't even need to do anything. Just need to wait for it to lose consciousness. So, yeah. Cool. One thing I could do with these heaters is load them up over here. And then, well, a little bit more space. Load them up over here to have Gabe be able to continue mining? So I'm going to mine, and JD too. JD does mine. I'm going to mine a ridiculously long path here. JD, just work on tailoring. I'm going to actually, yeah, put that as priority one. I want the top hat. I want the cape. I want Raptor to be happy. I want to clothe him properly. So now all that's left is this little mech cluster. And I don't think this mech cluster here is ever going to really pose much of a threat to a, well, to anyone, for that matter, which means I'll probably just clear it out myself. There's really not much of a point keeping such a tiny cluster alive. Okay, so the throne room in here is extremely impressive. I'm not likely to get it any higher than extremely impressive, which means making bedrooms nicer. So Hippie, you made this art. You benefit from it. How's that sound? Slightly impressive bedroom as a result. Okay, cape is done. I'm going to force Raptor to wear it. And he still wants more night-specific apparel. I've been dressing him in order to become a Praetor, but let me make sure... Formal shirt, cape, beret. Okay, so you know what? Instead of the top hat, make a beret. Sorry, JD. Because a beret is both for knight and Praetor, whereas a top hat is not. So we'll make that fix. Everything I've been digging has been overhead mountain. I sort of expected as much, but it helps to confirm. There is one big thing out here that I could butcher for resources. Now I do have enough jade for 2 more pieces of art, which Hippie will be getting to in a minute. And where did that beret go? JD made it, and he's hauling it. Great. All right, my night-specific apparel has been satisfied. Raptor looks a little goofy, but he's happy, and I suppose that's what matters. To some degree or another. Oh, heater's out. Oh my goodness, it is so cold without that heater. I'm going to still keep growing oodles and oodles of cotton. The reason, of course, being I'm eventually going to need to have nice carpet everywhere in this throne room. And all other ways to carpet up that throne room is going to be a lot more expensive than just, you know, carpets. I think when I wake up, maybe midday, I'll try to send Phoenix and Bash over here. My worry is it is so cold. It's a hypothermic issue of trying to clear out this cluster. I don't know. I don't know. I think they'd be okay. I'll have to keep an eye on them. It is a little sketchy. But it's usually warmest in midday. So I'll wait till roughly midday. Another thing I haven't done yet is, and JD, could you do this? Is prioritize switch the priorities of the trade beacon. So I just need to uninstall this and reinstall it. Hippie just had a shoot frenzy. That's cool. Okay, that's literally all I needed to do. That makes this one the oldest installed beacon to have trades prioritized there. All right. Let's watch your hypothermia. You know, I'm just going to send Bash because he's in better health condition than Phoenix. Yeah. He's getting too cold too quick. One thing I could do is build some sort of warmer here. So I'm going to have him go home and maybe try to build a warmer. Looks like Gabe is delivering materials for it. And JD might build it. Where are you headed off to? Oh, JD's been unrestricted, which is foolish of me. I'll put him back. I know why he was, but... Alright, stay close. Oh, good. Alright, so Bash is out here already, having built the warmer. I'm going to have him just wait here a bit until his hypothermia drops. What I'm going to do is remove this from a zone that's allowable. Because I don't want anyone actually coming out here. It's honestly just too cold. Alright, taking a look at upcoming summer. I know it's weird to be preparing for the summer, but we have 4 dusters and 5 people that need dusters. And then some of these dusters are worn out a bit. I think what I'm going to start to do is, let me clear out these zones, is for toques, well, alright, let's do an order of necessity. So, button-down shirts, pants, toques, and cowboy hats, do until I have 1 nice one spare. Or maybe 2. Now, it's a little different. Well, so the shirts and pants are a little different because we wear them year-round than the toques and cowboy hats, because the toques and cowboy hats are a little bit different as a result of their seasonal. So sometimes we're going to have a lot of them, sometimes we won't. So that's a little harder to do. So the toques and the cowboy hats I might not have set up like that. Alright, so I'm just waiting for his hypothermia to totally dissipate so that he can not be slowed down by living up to his name and bashing the remaining these remaining mini slugger turrets, because as a result of those slugger turrets, I can't accept the I don't even have the quest of the Praetor ceremony, but until that cluster is dealt with, that ceremony is a no-go. Okay, that was it. I am going to, let's see. Try to grab as much of this stuff as I can. Without getting too hypothermic. And hauling a bone dog home as well. Beautiful. All right. Got a whole bunch of pemmican. Advanced fabrication just got done. And that's going to allow us to make advanced components, which will help with bionics and the like. The next big thing is going to be recon armor, I would say. I really like recon armor a lot. The trouble with advanced components, though, I don't have the gold. Oh, well, I have some plasteel built up, but I really don't have the gold at all. So what I'm going to be doing is shutting down my my research bench and powering up the ground penetrating radar, removing the roof over it, and trying to keep it heated enough that Raptor can be in there and not freeze his butt off. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm going to need more heaters. So he's warm until about -6. And that's about what it is in there. But I'm going to heat it up a little bit past that point. There's nowhere to store pemmican. That should be in consumables, I think. So let's expand the consumable zone. And then the unrestricted crab hauling will expand as well. Alright, so restricted crab hauling and unrestricted crab haul. Okay, yep. Now we have a place to put the pemmican, which is good. JD's making spare clothing. Now what I should do is all this pemmican that is where the crabs can eat it needs to be removed promptly, because otherwise the crabs are just going to eat the pemmican and I won't have it when I need it. It's getting pretty cold in this base. One more heater might not be a terrible investment. And you are heading out to the other bone dog. Let me... Okay, I think you're going to be okay for a return trip. And then once he does the return trip, I'm going to put him on stay close. I don't want him going out there anymore. Because, yeah, he got seriously hypothermic, literally just walking in. And Gabe is starting to get so hypothermic he's at risk of losing fingers. It's cold. It is cold. Alright, so that's a little bit more meat. And a little bit more heat. I suppose I could turn on this heater too. Or I could have reinstalled it and moved it or whatever, but there it is. So the Desperado camp is something I wasn't ever planning on doing. I'm going to remove that. The friend in the crosshair I still probably want to try to do. There's the extra heater for Raptor. It still barely keeping this area warm enough. Because, and let me remind you, the reason this is a problem, the ground penetrating radar needs to be unroofed to operate correctly. And as a result, it's very, very, very challenging to keep that heated, as I think you could imagine. Okay, so Bash and Hippie, you are idle. Stay close zone. Let's go include this run here, so that Gabe can start mining it, and we can start utilizing it. There's a fair bit of resources tied up in this big thing, and then there were, well, there's, you know, there's still parts of this mech cluster out here too that could be helpful. Okay, Phoenix, you need treatment. Let's take a look. We don't need herbal meds yet. We're still at the point where we're managing it without. Probably wouldn't hurt to set up the beds a little bit differently so that there's a light source. And this stool should be over here. So that there's a light source where we treat him, so as to increase the quality of the treatment quality a little bit. So we'll do that once he's up. Hippie, let's get you to make 2 more jade art pieces. There we are. Gabe here is just chopping away at this mountain. Hopefully we'll find some hidden underground resources. I wouldn't hold my breath, but, you know, with any luck. I'm also going to replace some compartmentalizing doors here, so that if we do have an infestation, it's going to be a little bit easier to deal with them. The stay close zone. Ooh, we scanned some steel, and the steel is, unfortunately, not in a great spot. So what do we scan? Steel here, steel here, steel here, and then the tiny pocket of uranium over here. Alright. Because one of the things I could do is just dig a whole tunnel. Eventually the uranium, and I probably want to, like, connect it. Have a tunnel connector or something like that, but that's always a possibility. Alright, the stay close zone. Okay, it does include the entire run. Sounds like we're making work for booze. I heard that. Another thing I probably need is a drug lab, and to start cranking out medicine. So I will build one of those as well. I think the smithy, for now, I'm just going to put down here. It's something I use so infrequently that it doesn't need to just take up workshop space. Yeah, it's a little unnecessary. The crabs here don't really have anything to eat, do they? So, the butcher zones. What is this? This is insects. I'm going to be adding mega spiders to this. We're now down to butchering mega spiders for kibble sources. I still don't have a heck of a lot of spare steel. Some of it, I have 400 over here that's just sort of sitting there. But 400 steel is only like 2 big turrets. It's really not that much. That's also something I'm going to need to have to deal with at some point soon. So, the drug lab. I am going to make enough medicine until we have, let's say, 25. And then when we take it, we're going to take it to the meds stockpile, which is right here. So medicine requires cloth, neurotropium, and herbal meds. I have all those things. So that should be pretty easy to do. Another thing that I could do over here is a shelf to speed up the process, to store resources close to where I'm going to need to use them. So I'll put a few shelves in here. There we go. Crabs are happy. They're munching. I need to make sure not to use too much of my rice for kibble, because then what ends up happening is I will have a food shortage for my own people. But this much is fine. And let's then resuspend. So this butcher creature here is for all normal creatures, and this one is for skeletons, or reapers. Well, skeletons are reapers, reapers are skeletons. I'll suspend that for now, and then suspend the other one. Okay, that's enough kibble for now. This shelf here, I am going to put cloth on it. This shelf will have neurotropium. Or, let's say, heal root, medicine, herbal. And this shelf will have Nutriamine. Storing all of the necessities to make meds right here. Scanning steel. That's not too far from the base. It's not too bad. I could heat that up. Now, the benefit of shelves, if you can see how there's a -5 for this stack of meds? It's because this stack of meds is not shelved. And a not shelved stack of meds is ugly. When things are on a shelf, it negates its ugliness. So there's definitely a benefit to you know, having shelves. Of course, the other side of that coin is it takes up space. And in taking up space, it, you know, it will make the room more cramped. Now, this workshop is plenty big, so there isn't a risk of cramping being an issue. Okay, let's say, JD, you're going to get this statue. It's still decent. It's because it took up so much space. Fine. Let's put these statues in the throne room. And then another thing to be aware of when we become a Praetor, our throne room will eventually require, at some rank, what is it? Maybe Baron? At Baron, it's going to require a harpsichord. And then at Count, it's going to require a piano. So we're going to need to research harpsichords and pianos sometime. But right now, I'm still mostly focused on trying to get advanced components going. And in order to do that, we need to... in order to get advanced components, we need to scan underground gold. So I'm just trying to keep this tunnel lit to reduce the chance of infestations. It won't negate it, but it will lower it. Now, the temperature that is currently outside negates the infestation risk, but during the summers and the temperate seasons, that's not true. A shuttle attack. So, friend in the crosshairs for 3 more days. The shuttleborne attack is interesting. I wouldn't mind Manhunter Pulse and Side Trainer Burden. The other thing to note is that Psycasts are not as powerful against Reapers as they are everyone else, because Reapers are immune to it. So taking on 14 skeletons with all of my guys is probably more risk than reward at that point. It's tempting, but it's highly, highly dangerous, I would say. An exotic goods trader. Oh, yes. So let's see what we can get. I'm going to have to make sure never to trigger the fire foam popper. I can definitely see me accidentally doing that instead of removing the roofs. It's too bad that I don't have a comms console like closer. I can always move it, but that's kind of a pain. Why won't they buy my baby crabs? They sell crabs, but they don't buy crabs? Color me confused. So one thing I could do here is to buy gold in order to make advanced components. I could also buy... Honestly, the side trainers they have here are kind of garbage. So, yeah, I think I'm mostly interested in buying gold. But Bash actually has a trade inspiration, so let's have Bash do the buying. All right, 100 gold coming in. And now we'll do advanced components until we have 4 with JD. Okay, crabs, you could go back. No one wanted to buy you. Sorry, little buddies. Gabe is still cranking away. It's getting pretty cold in here. So what I'm going to do is compartmentalize a few more times. One here. And then move these heaters down so that I'm heating a smaller area. Because eventually he's going to get hypothermic. Here, I'm actually going to have him turn around at this point. Okay, I can do another door here. New lovers, Bash and Hippie. Well, right on. Awesome. This zone here, this raw resources, I'm going to copy and copy the name. There is really not much of a point in storing them outdoors anymore, so I'm going to store them in here. Oops. But I'm doing that because now with the relationship, they're going to need a double bed. It does free up one bedroom, though. That's pretty cool. So Bash, I'm going to have you finish off this bed because you're a better constructor than JD. Excellent. Okay, I can live with that. The other issue is the physical space that said bedroom takes up. So, what I think I'm going to be doing here is Phoenix, you're going to sleep here. This good bed I'm going to break down. This good bed I'm going to break... I'll leave this bed. I'll just uninstall it. This here is going to inherit some art. And here is some more art. And then I'll be setting up a bedroom for Bash and Hippie. Hopefully one that that lasts a while. Get to cover. JD, you should be working on fabrication. So, where's your priorities? There we are. So a lot of these doors could be left open. So let's work on that bedroom of yours, huh? This is going to be a cramped little prison cell, if we do get prisoners. But that's fine. This bed is going to be moved here. And then these gonna get broken down. Okay. Bashes would rather work on other projects. Okay, now this area is warming up because it's not so large. And a combat supplier. Oh, you know what? I still have this unroofed, which is enormously stupid. But, what do you mean, no path? That's weird. What do I want to do here? I want to sell the weapons I don't suspect I'll be using anytime soon. Done. Silver comes in, and then I really need to rebuild the roof. Alright, schedule everybody to stay close. That's good. Bash, don't sleep out there. Or hippie. You'll die. Like, you'll literally die if you do that. There, much better. So, their bedroom is a work in progress, but it's slightly impressive. Another thing I could do is... Yeah, let's do this. Is sell the jade here. And we have a Praetor ceremony that we will be able to accept. Nice. Okay, I'm hauling the art so I can sell it. I also have some old zones I need to get rid of. Area 1. There, done. I'd rather have the silver, I think is the case there. Okay, done. And the Praetor ceremony. I will accept this. Here comes the shuttle. These guys, you better get inside pretty quick. Because otherwise, it's not good. Taking a look at the requirements for Praetor. The throne room does not yet require all fancy floor tiles or whatever. So I will start to need to work towards that. But there we are. Oh my god. Oh boy. So he got Words of Serenity. Wow, he really is the pacifist Psycaster. Which is so strange considering he's Bloodlust. But, hey, congratulations. So if you take a look at his needs, he wants Praetor quality apparel, which means, what is he lacking? I thought I went over this, but perhaps I did not. Praetor. Minimum quality is normal. I think I have that. So formal shirt, cape, beret. Or formal shirt, cape, top hat, or beret. Well, he's wearing that stuff. Formal shirt, cape, beret. And then Psycaster or Prestige armor. Well, he can be a little fussy if he wants. I don't care. Well, thanks for the ceremony, and goodbye. Gonna force Raptor to make some medicine. Speaking of medicine, Phoenix, how are you doing? Blood rots. Looks fine. Great. Well, that's a shared bedroom. I can also give a throne speech. So the chances are I'm going to have good speech. So I'm going to trigger one. It'll be his first throne speech ever. And it's right at the end of the episode, so I think that's cool. I also have the ability to ask for another permit, and I'm going to get transport shuttle. A transport shuttle is going to allow me to do a lot more quests. So if I want to do like a trade with these guys, a transport shuttle will help me get out to my neighbors and back. Okay, come on, attend the speech. Here we are. Better be a good one. No pressure. Gorgeous environment. Ah, I like it. It is really pretty in here. Mostly thanks to this gifted... Oh, it's encouraging. Perfect. Well, that is all the time I have. This was a very peaceful episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll catch you next episode, everybody. Farewell.